The Israeli military isn't the only one who had to leave Lebanon 20 years ago. Over 7,000 people who served in the South Lebanese army and their families had to flee Lebanon too, as Hezbollah and local Shia militias considered them collaborators of the Zionist entity. 20 years later, some of their children, who were young kids when they had to leave their homeland forever, are now adults in Israel, and some of them call themselves Lebanese Israelis.
For them, this is more than just an observation platform. It's the closest they can get to where they were born and what they once called home. Both Jonathan and MIRYAM's fathers served as officers at the South Lebanon Army until the Israeli withdrawal in the year 2000. MIRYAM was 5 when she left Lebanon with her family. She still remembers a little of her village.
I remember my family a lot. I remember lots of little anecdotes that happened in like going to school or going with my mother around and meeting other people in the village. I think that I miss the what our parents miss, which is the connection, like feeling connected to a place that is ours.
The day of the Israeli withdrawal, however, is more vivid for her.
I remember that my mother answered the phone and my father said, "Oh, you need to leave, like take the car and come to the border." So my mother was like, "Okay, but should we take something with us? What should I do?" And I remember her collecting lots of random things, really, and my uncle helped her, like, put some things in a bag and take 4 kids and go to the car, drive to the border.
Jonathan was 7 at the time.
My father didn't decide to leave till the last moment. My mom has already prepared for him a luggage before, but really at the last second he decided that he has to flee. So he just entered the home. It was already around sunset, and he just rushed into the house, took his luggage, and started running outside to the car that was waiting for him. And I remember my mom that yelled at him like, "Aren't you gonna even say goodbye?" And then he went back, like said really quickly that he's leaving, and that's it. That's when he left, and we stayed in Lebanon for a year and a half after he came here.
Leaving Lebanon afterwards was even harder.
That was the toughest day that I can remember till today, because I didn't know what is going on, and we didn't say goodbye to any of our relatives. And that's, for example, why it's really difficult to come and see Lebanon and to kind of remember that we're not in connection with our families there.
When the South Lebanon Army families arrived at the Israeli border, they weren't always welcomed right away. Some waited for days at the fence. Others had to request asylum. Eventually, 10% of them decided to stay in Israel.
We kept it strong even though the difficulties of being a really small community, and as a second generation, we really integrated with the local people. So knowing that I can go back home and like I know what I am is in my opinion is really like great achievement for us as Lebanese community here in Israel.
The majority of our parents came here around the ages of 50 to Israel, and the majority of them came without even finishing high school because of the war. So their jobs basically aren't jobs that can support a full family of 4 or 5 people. And we're just asking to give us some sort of nachat, to get one trouble out of the way, that we will have like the base of a house, and then we can go on and continue with our lives. We're not asking more than that. And recognition, maybe in the education system, that we will be remembered, because we have a crucial part in the help and support of the State of Israel.
This longing for recognition is common among former South Lebanon Army people, part of the complicated identity they have developed throughout the years.
I feel very connected to Lebanon, even though I didn't grow up there. But I'm also Israelian, because I grew up here and I built myself here, and Israel gave me lots of tools and way of living that maybe I wouldn't have elsewhere. So I am absolutely both.
Lebanon will always be my homeland. I still have family in Lebanon, and this is one of the things that I seek for is to go and visit them, that hopefully one day we will have peace and I will be able to see them before, they pass from this world. I will always be Lebanese, so I will always say that I'm Lebanese. We still kept our dialect and our food and culture, and we still speak, Arabic, Lebanese Arabic at home. So this is something that we are making sure to keep in our ways.
Being so close yet so far, it's hard. It's nice at least that we can come here and look. Some people can't even do that, so.